This time on Boneyard Revivals, we're going to see if we can get this 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass running, maybe even driving. Let's find out.
What do we have here? Must be some hooligans.
Hey, want to go for a ride in my square body?
Yeah.
So we go to peek in here, and hey, something's missing there. I'm pretty dang sure that there's supposed to be a starter in there, and there's not. So now we're gonna have to come up with something to have it running, just to move the car around, but it spins. Sweet. Well, the good news is we got it off in one piece. The bad news is there's a significant amount of water. We're just gonna, oh, delicious. Oh, that looks pleasant. Oh, wow. That looks real good. I bet you that is just, oh yeah. That's real good to go through the engine. That's exactly what you want to see. Well, that's concerning. Yeah, oh boy. Oh boy. I guess get out here with the vacuum and try to suck some of that stuff out. I have another Quadrajet we're gonna try to put on this to make it work. I am sure this one is just absolutely trashed. Oh yeah. Here's a big concern here. Oh, they're opening up now. Those were stuck. Oh boy. Yeah, those are gonna be your secondaries, and whew, wow. Now the big concern is these were stuck shut, but how much water was actually able to slip past these and get down into that intake? And as you can tell, it looks like a significant amount. So that is concerning, that there is engine, or that there might be water in the engine. Okay, so where do we leave off last? I think something on the lines of, this car is junk, but we want to get it running and driving anyways, just because it'd be fun, because burnouts. So we still need to swap on our other Quadrajet, and we got something special for you. You ready for this? Hold on, let me go get it. You can bet your sweet Biffy that when we went to the junkyard, we came up with a starter off of an Oldsmobile 307. So now we just get to install it and then throw the carburetor on it, set some other stuff up, and there's a million things I'm probably not thinking about, and probably have to come up with something for some sort of ignition switch, because I don't think it's in this car. But regardless, that's where we're at. Let's slide in there, let's throw the starter in, let's throw the carburetor on it, hook up some fuel lines and stuff. We'll come back and we'll kind of check in from there. Yes? Good? Let's get her done. So we came up with a solution for our carburetor problem here. This is the Quadrajet off the 307. This is a Quadrajet off of a small block Chevy 350 that actually came off the original engine from my square body. Few little key differences that we noticed is the fuel inlet here that comes up from the mechanical fuel pump is actually 90'd in on these Quadrajet that came off the small block Chevy. This one's straight on. One of the other things I noticed is it looks like there's some sort of vacuum mechanism here for the electronic choke on the Quadrajet off the 307. This one doesn't have it, but it does have the screw holes here where it looked like it was supposed to be there, and someone janked with this because this linkage looks a little different, but it worked when it was on the 350 in that truck. I even came up with the old gasket too that I still had laying around. She's a little cracked right there, but I'm not too worried about it because we're just gonna do the right thing and just jam a little RTV about right in there, and she's gonna go on there. It just needs to be functional. That's it. Just enough to get it to run so I can pull it out on the road and just lay track just a little bit, not too much. And I can be a happy man. So that's what we're looking to do. Oh yeah, that's gonna work real good. Definitely not gonna have a vacuum leak there. Nope. We're just set that off to the side now, and that's gonna function perfectly. Yeah, probably not, but it'll suffice for what we need it for. We're having some clearance problems with our EGR valve and our Quadrajet off of the small block Chevy because of how the linkage here actually connected. As you can see, it pretty much hit the top part of the EGR valve. So we did the right thing and just cut the EGR valve off. Have the little the rod that's still in there, pushed it back down so it actually is closed. And then we're just going to stick this part back on because you don't need that to be functional. So we're going to stick this back on. That'll solve that issue. Throw the starter in and then hook up some wires. We need one for the ignition and then for the distributor. Well, one stuck bolt turned into a broken plastic cap, and then next thing you know, bam, we got the whole starter ripped apart. Something that we're seeing here on the starter, we turned into the light, is that the brushes are worn the heck out, so it'll probably work for, 2 or 3 starts and then stop working. But we got the nose cone off, and basically our big problem here is that my dad had another starter laying around. This was the cap off of it. As you can see, it would be functional. The only problem is the plunger, which is basically the piece that basically presses in, because when this presses, that actuates the shaft to actually come out like that, and then these gears here engage on the flex plate, and basically as this spins, it spins the flex plate, which then turns the engine over, which makes it go the the whole vroom and run thing. So this is the one that's broke. Wires broke here because it literally broke. Well, it literally broke right there like that because there was a stud here that broke on me, because it happens when things are old. So basically we need to get the plunger out of the other starter so it can fit in here. We got to pull this whole mechanism out to get the other plunger, and then at that point put the other plunger in it, reassemble the whole dang thing, and hope that it works. Okay, where are we? Carburetor, check. Vacuum line for brake booster, check. Fuel line ran over so I can drop a tank in there, check. Pineapple juice, check. Starter, check. And yeah. I think at this point, we're just about ready to throw a battery in it, connect a few more. We need to plug up the wire for the distributor so we actually have spark. And then we need to come up with a wire for some sort of a push button deal where basically we can hit it and actuate the starter. And at that point, yeah, we're going to see if we can fire it up. We're going to pull the spark plugs out of it too before we just start turning it over. Just in case if there was any water or anything in the cylinders, it'll blow it all out. Could pull the valve covers and check to make sure we don't have any stuck valves, but this is more of a do as I say, not as I do moment. Yeah. Well, the good news is that it pretty much broke free immediately. So that doesn't mean the plug was rotted into the head, which would be an indication that there's moisture in the head for it to get seized up in there. Just about have this guy out. Nothing. Okay. So we ended up having to blow apart the starter for, I don't know, 3rd, 4th time now. Yeah, something like that. Basically what ended up happening was the brushes that we noticed before, they were worn out. So this starter, actually, this back piece here and this nose cone up here is actually another starter off a small block Chevy. The problem is the parts one that we had before was a remanufactured one, and the cylinder piece, this long black piece here that you see here, it was actually narrower. Like the diameter of it was smaller, and we needed the bigger one like this. This is one that I had laying around off of, actually, funny enough, this was the original starter off of our $1,500 budget small block Chevy. I painted it black because I was going to throw it back on the engine and use it. I ended up accidentally busting, funny enough, I'm 2 for 2 on this now, busting the end cap on the solenoid. So it was kind of useless, and basically all this starter was worth was, changing out the solenoid, and it was still, as far as I know, a functional starter. We needed the bigger cylinder diameter shape doodad. Yeah. This guy. This one was big enough where it actually fit into the screw holes for our nose cone that's off the 307. So hopefully for the last and final time, this will be the last time we assemble this starter. The brushes looked good. It's all assembled, ready to go on. I'm going to throw it on, crossing fingers. Hopefully we're done with this problem. Hopefully we can get this car running now, because this is the last thing that we needed before we can turn the key and, hear it go vroom. Maybe. We're going to run into a million other problems, but another thing, hopefully solved. Hopefully. Okay, so we had to mess with it a few times, but yes! It spins. Victory. Now we get to move on. We know it's free. I guess it's throw the plugs in, hook up our wire for the distributor, and maybe see if we can get this thing to fire. I don't know if I'm seeing any. Is this actually a good tester? Because there's electrical tape on the one end.
Yeah.
Still not spinning over fast enough.
Nah, she don't seem happy.
So, we didn't have any spark. What turned out to be the problem?
Somebody didn't know how to hook up the wire properly.
Huh. Wonder who that could have been.
No.
Nah, that was me. I didn't do the things right. Yep. Okay, let's throw it all back together and see if we have spark this time. Okay, well at this point I think we figured out our distributor issue. We have spark now, so that's peachy. And at this point I think we're pretty much ready to connect up the rest of our fuel lines and squirt some juice down the carburetor and see what happens. Cool. Wire should be over there. Go ahead. She wants to. Go ahead. Yes! That's awesome. Go ahead. Good. Even tried idling there. Yes. Victorious at last. And I was sucking fuel out of the jug too.
Looks like it's sucking.
All of it. Oh, that's awesome. Heck yeah. Fist bump. Heck yeah.
Helps when you plug the wire in the right spot.
Oh, that's awesome. Now the question is, can we get it to sit there and idle?
Probably not.
My tape just came right off of that. Yeah, honestly, we just, I don't know what this or anything that we could just put over that. Because you know what sucks? It actually ran better before I put my finger over it. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's because I had the choke on. But I did put the choke on.
Probably just regular. You put a pipe plug in there, or you put a plastic cap over it.
Honestly, let's just do plastic caps. Plastic caps is easier for most things. I had my finger over this. It didn't seem like there was much of a vacuum from that.
That's actually supposed to go to the choke. That's like a heat tube.
Yeah, there was no.
But that should.
Dealio.
I thought I heard a couple of vacuum hooks going on somewhere over here or something.
I don't know where else they'd be.
I know we're definitely getting some here.
Okay, well I think at this point it's time to get the car off the trailer. Cross your fingers, hope that the tranny works and that it also has brakes too, because if not, we're just going through the garage door. I don't think Dad would mind. But yeah, let's hop in it, fire it up, and see if we can get the thing running and drop it down off the trailer, and you know what's coming eventually. Hang in there, we're almost there. Well, do you want the good news or do you want the bad news? We'll start with the good news to stay positive. It fired up and ran, as you saw. It has a forward gear. Well, I guess it's time for the bad news. It didn't have reverse. It didn't even clunk in there. And I went to go ahead and put in some of this Lucas Oil rejuvenating juice, and you see the problem is when I started squirting it, I didn't realize it, but there was some water in here. So not only do we not have reverse, but then I just put water into the tranny, and then we got a little bit of the non-slip juice. So that probably means the tranny's junk. So if the smart thing to do would be just to keep it on the trailer. Now, is that what we're gonna do? Probably be wisest. But I've never been known for doing wise, smart, intelligent things. Well, unfortunately, this is about the point where the whole project just fell completely apart. I ended up pushing the car off the trailer, even though I was slightly advised not to by my father, just because I was determined to give you guys one good hellacious burnout. We pushed the car off the trailer, tried to get it to run, and at that point, the starter that I rebuilt for about the 4th or 5th time just wasn't having it anymore, and the car wouldn't stay running long enough to really be able to do anything with it. And sometimes in life, certain projects, you just gotta learn when to say enough's enough. We battled this car for 2.5 days, and in the end, it just didn't work out. But that's nothing to be sad over, because we revived a car and got it to run for the first time in probably at least 5 years. Kind of a shame that 200 R4 just turned out to be junk, because if she had reverse, you bet we were going to give you one good burnout. But like I said, unfortunately, you just got to learn when to just call it quits. Big thing too was it was really cool. It was worth pushing it off the trailer just because we were able to get some really awesome photos that otherwise we probably would have never gotten. But even though we're a little upset that we couldn't get the car to pretty much fully run and drive, we still got to be happy. You know, we got to, experience a lot of awesome, neat things with getting this car to run. We messed around with, like I said, a car that has not ran in at least the past 5 years, and we revived it. We brought it back. Unfortunately for the 85 Cutlass, that's pretty much going to be the last time you see it running and even slightly driving, just because that car is the parts car for our 86 Cutlass. The hood, the fenders, the grille, the front and rear bumper are all coming off that car, and they're going on our street and strip Cutlass. And this was basically just a one last hoorah attempt to see if we can get this car to run and drive, just because it was fun. I will say though, even though it is disappointing, it was definitely a really awesome learning experience and also a really good bonding moment. And that's kind of what life's all about, isn't it? Being able to spend time with the people that you love, wrenching on old junk cars, and that's what we try to do here every time on Boneyard Revivals.
The right height, take the starter back out now.
Dude, I'm putting it on the trailer and calling it a day. What can I say? It defeated me this time. Well, unfortunately, there's a chance that we won't give you burnouts today, but I'll at least leave you with this. Well, I can't lie. That was kind of a really depressing way to end the video, and it's the end of the day. Stuffed the car back on the trailer and we're on our way home now, and Square Body's back there. But I'm on my way home and it's snowing, and you didn't think I was gonna end this video off with no action whatsoever, did you? We got snow on the ground. Let's do something about that.